You'll know enough about Master Showman P.T. Barnum and where words come from to win $10,000 in cash if you were a contestant on Hitman. And now, here's the host of Hitman, Peter Tomarkin.
Thank you, Ron Ronnie, and welcome everyone to Hitman. What Rod just said is true. We're going to make you at home and our contestants here need some experts on two more subjects, because you know this is a quiz show. And we're going to get you all the answers before we get any of the questions. But before we do that, let's meet the players who can actually play our game. And here we are, starting with Casey.
I'm studying public relations. I'm looking forward to graduating next year. And in my spare time, I enjoy photography, needlepoint, and plants.
So you're going to graduate and go out and get a job?
Hopefully, yes.
Hopefully, yes. Okay, good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Okay, and let's meet our second player, Chuck. How are you, Chuck?
Hello, Peter. My name is Chuck Cassidy. I'm the administrator for an emergency medical service. Worked my way through school shooting pool. Ultimately won a couple of championships. And collection and restore old cars.
Terrific. Now, you worked your way through college playing pool.
Right.
Now, you ready for Minnesota Fats?
Played him a couple of times.
Did you really?
Yeah.
How'd you do?
Rather not talk about it.
We'll just leave that last. All right, well, hopefully you'll do better on Hitman.
Thank you.
Okay, and let's meet our third player, Jennifer. Hi.
Hi, Peter. My name is Jennifer Gillespie. I'm a native California, and I'm single. I've been a customer service representative for 7 years, and I play racquetball, and I like to sing.
Oh, great. Now, you're a native California?
Yes.
I didn't think I'd ever meet one.
Born in Hollywood.
All right, that's a native.
Yeah.
Welcome to Hitman.
Thank you.
All right, now, these are our three challenges, and two of them are going to get a chance to go up against our champion in round two. But we don't have to wait to meet our champion, because here she is, Patricia Jackson. Hi, Patricia. How are you?
Nice to see you.
How are you feeling?
Very good.
Has that $10,000 win kind of, have you absorbed it yet?
Beginning to sink
Beginning
in.
to come in.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, we got three people that are going to vie to see if they can meet you in round two. And in just a minute, we're going to be showing our contestants and you out there our first story. Now, Patricia, you'll be watching it from off stage, so we're going to see you at the end of round one. And we'll be seeing you right after this. All right, let's get on with our show. I promised you that before we got to any of the questions, we'd give you all the answers. But all the answers in the form of a story. How's he clever? And all the questions are going to be based on that story. The story of P.T. Barnum, one of a kind. We've all heard that there's no business like show business. Well, show business is the business of entertaining people. And nobody did it better than Phineas Taylor Barnum. P.T. Barnum, as he was better known, was given the nickname the world's greatest showman. Though he gave that nickname to himself, he certainly deserved it. Once, Barnum went to jail for libel. When he got out, he went back to the same courthouse where they had sentenced him and held a banquet. Then he had a parade down Main Street, complete with a brass band. The parade ended at his house, where the band played Home Sweet Home. Barnum had done it. He had turned the punishment into a Dr. Pepper commercial. A few years later, he opened the very first sideshow. It wasn't in a tent, but in a building on Broadway in New York City. He called it Barnum's American Museum, and it included giants, dwarfs, and America's first Punch and Judy show. To keep the crowd from staying inside too long, Barnum put a sign over a door that said, quote, "To the egress," unquote. When people went through, they would find themselves locked outside in the alley. Some never learned that the word egress meant exit. As Barnum himself had said, there's a sucker born every minute. Barnum's greatest attraction was General Tom Thumb. His real name was Charlie Scratton, and he was 25 inches tall. Barnum taught him how to sing and dance, and Tom Thumb became a huge hit. Barnum even took him on a European tour. It lasted 3 years and included a command performance for Queen Victoria. Later, Tom Thumb married Lavinia Warren. Barnum brought Tom and Lavinia to the White House, where Tom traded jokes with Abraham Lincoln. Another Barnum discovery was Jenny Lind, who was already a singing idol in Europe. He brought her to the U.S. for a cross-country tour, calling her the Swedish Nightingale. Barnum himself made $500,000 from this tour. What he's best known for, though, isn't his money, but his circus. In 1881, he and James Bailey formed the Barnum and Bailey Circus. Their first show was held in Madison Square Garden, and for the first time ever,
3 rings were used. They called it the greatest show on earth. 10 years later, Barnum lay near death. He was serious about his obituary, so the New York Evening Sun published it early. Barnum was pleased, particularly with the headline. They called him the great and only Barnum. 2 weeks later, Barnum passed away. But to this day, the circus still bears his name. After all, the show must go on.
And indeed, the show shall go on. That's the end of our first story, and our game is played in 2 very different rounds. In round 1, our 2 challengers will be fighting it out in order to determine which 2 of them are going to go on to do battle with our reigning champion later on in round 2. Now, we make the determination by running a little race. Whichever 2 of you crosses the finish line first will be the 2 who get to go on to meet our champion later on in round 2. Unfortunately, the third-place finisher is out of the game. And with that in mind, you want to get your hands on your buzzers, because here we go with our first question. P.T. Barnum was given what nickname? Jennifer.
World's Greatest Showman.
Yes, indeed he was. And you move out of the sack first. Barnum said there's a what born, Casey?
Sucker.
Sucker born every minute is right. Casey moves out. What did the P stand for, Chuck? Phineas. Phineas is right, P.T. Barnum. Everybody's moved out and even. In what city did Barnum open the first Casey?
New York.
Sideshow, New York is right. Casey forged in the lead. Barnum was once put in jail for what offense, Jennifer?
Libel.
Libel is right, and Jennifer moves up. With whom did Barnum form a circus? Casey?
James Bailey.
In 1881, James Bailey is right. Casey moves up 2 ahead of Chuck and 1 ahead of Jennifer. What did Barnum name his first side play, Chuck?
The greatest show on earth.
No, it's Barnum's American Museum. All right, Chuck, you got to sit this one out. Let's turn the light on your podium and go over to Casey and Jennifer. Here's your question. Who gave Barnum the nickname the world's, Jennifer?
Himself.
The world's greatest showman himself is right. It's not a shy man. All right, let's bring Chuck back in the game. Jennifer and Casey are tied. Chuck's 2 behind. Here we go. Name the midget who was Barnum's Chuck.
General Tom Thumb.
Yes, indeed. And Chuck moves up, making his move. Where did Barnum and Bailey hold the first show of Jennifer?
Madison Square Garden.
First show of the circus is indeed Madison Square Garden. Jennifer, you are in the enviable position of being 1 step away from being our first winner. Here's the next question. If you get it, could put you over. In fact, if you do get it, it will put you over. All right, here it comes. Name and attraction of Barnum's American Casey.
Giants.
American Museum Giants is right. Okay, Casey is now even with Jennifer. Both 1 step away. Next question could put one of them over. Name the European singing idol, Casey.
Jenny Lind.
Jenny Lind is right. And Casey will be congratulations, Casey. You got yourself $300. And what's more important, you are definitely going to want to meet that champion in round 2. Contemplate that for a while we move over to Chuck and Jennifer to see who joins you. And Jennifer is in a position where she is 1 step away. Chuck is 2 behind Jennifer. Here's the question. Tom Thumb did a command performance for Jennifer.
Queen Victoria.
For whom Queen Victoria is right, and Jennifer got second winner, $200 with you. And you are going to join Casey in that fight against the champion in round 2. Congratulations. Chuck, well, you came up a little short, much like what happened with Minnesota Fat. I hope you had a good time. That's much all right. We've got some nice prizes for you, Chuck. Thanks for being with us. All right, in a moment, we'll be back to see just how well our 2 challengers do against the champion in round 2 right after this.